are nothing but connections you build from source systems. Every source system will have certain objects. Like in our Sales Cloud, we have lead and contact object. So those objects are also known as DSO, data source objects. Okay. The source system will have objects like leads, contacts, opportunities, accounts. These are also known as DSOs, data source objects. So to bring that data to data cloud, the first thing we have to do is to establish data streams. Data stream in Salesforce Data Cloud facilitates seamless data integration from various sources. Whether it is a real time or batch, you can establish data streams accordingly and get the connection done. Data stream is a connection you establish with data source objects. Now org, in our SFDC org, we have Sales Cloud. In our SFDC org, we have Sales Cloud. That Sales Cloud has some basic objects, like it has lead objects, it has contact objects, it has account objects. So we want to bring the lead data to data cloud. We want to bring contact data to data cloud. So first we will do is to set up and integrate some basic Sales Cloud objects in data cloud. To do that, what we have to do is we have to enable Sales Cloud starter bundle inside data cloud. So we'll go to data cloud setup. Once we go to data cloud setup, yesterday we have already set up this data cloud. Now all the data sources are available here, which you can start to integrate. So we have to start integrating our Sales Cloud objects. So we have a Sales Cloud starter bundle. Okay. This org is our default org which is integrated. Inside this default org, we have Sales Cloud as a starter bundle, which we will go and click on install. Once we install this, it will allow us establish Sales Cloud objects from our Sales Cloud to data cloud via data stream. We'll click on install option. Similarly, we have Service Cloud as well, where you have cases, you have tasks, you have other Service Cloud objects. If you want to bring that data to data cloud as well, you have Service Cloud starter bundle. What we can do, we can go and click on install Service Cloud starter bundle as well. So our Sales Cloud starter bundle and Service Cloud starter bundle has started to install. In fact, Sales Cloud starter bundle is already installed. While Service Cloud starter bundle is installing in the background, what we will do, we will now go to data cloud home and start to set up data streams. We will go to data cloud home and start to set up data streams. Data streams are the connections to DSOs, data source objects. Now to create a new data stream, we have to click on new option. Once we go to data stream, to create a new data stream, we'll click on new option. And here you see that Salesforce CRM is available. Click on Salesforce CRM. You have multiple different sources as well from where you can establish a data stream. But as we have integrated Salesforce CRM Sales Cloud Starter Bundle, we'll click on Salesforce CRM and click on next option. Once we click on next option, this is our Salesforce org. Here we have data bundles and all objects as two options. Salesforce has provided some basic objects in Sales Cloud bundles, which we just integrated or installed. In that Sales Cloud, we have account, contact and lead as a starter bundle objects. So what we will do, we'll click on Sales Cloud objects and start to establish data stream among these three different objects. Once we click on these three, here are the attributes, or you can say fields, you can select and deselect from your data streams of contact. Same thing you can do for account, same thing you can do for leads. If you don't want to bring any field, you can uncheck it, but if you want to bring field, you can check it. But there are some required fields which you can't uncheck. Like I uncheck this, it is giving an error, but this is not a required field. I can certainly uncheck this. So you have to decide by discussing with your management what all fields you want to bring to data cloud. Once you have selected all those leads, all those fields, click on next option. Once you click on next option, you can start to deploy those data streams inside the data cloud. The same thing we can do with Service Cloud Starter bundles as well. Service Cloud Starter bundles will give some basic objects which you can directly straightforward integrate. But you might also have some custom objects which are not part of starter bundle. While establishing data streams, you have to click on all objects and then you can start integrating those objects to data cloud. So let's wait for some time till this data stream is getting established. What we can do is we can duplicate this tab and go and install Service Cloud Starter bundles side by side. We'll click on new option, select the Salesforce CRM, click on next option. We have Service Cloud objects as well. There are multiple Service Cloud objects like contact, email, message, group member, survey, all these things we can go and bring to the data cloud. So guys, data stream is just about setting up a connection. Establishing data streams won't bring data to data cloud. So there are some dependency on fields which we have to resolve in order to bring this Service Cloud data bundles inside the data cloud. So what we will do, from Service Cloud, we can bring one or two objects which are not dependent. Like we can have task object. If we remove that dependency, you will be able to get all the Service Cloud bundles, but it will take some time to remove dependency. We are just understanding how to establish data streams with data source objects. We'll get tasks from the Service Cloud. Click on next option. Now guys, while you establish a new data stream from Service Cloud, you are asked to have object details, whether it is a profile category object, engagement category object, or other category object. Profile is a category which we have to define if it is containing basic profile of a particular customer. If I am a customer, I am your lead, what can be my profile? In my profile, I can have my first name, my last name, my company, my website details, my phone number, my age, my gender, my date of birth, my address, postal code, city, house number, street. All these are the PI data, personal identification data. So if that object you are going to integrate contains your personal data about the customer, then you select profile. Then the other category we have is engagement category. Engagement means you sent me communication from Marketing Cloud. As you sent me communication from Marketing Cloud, I will be opening that email. I will be clicking any link inside that email. I might go and unsubscribe that email. So that is the engagement I am doing on your marketing communications. So if you want to bring that kind of data which is related to engagement I have done, behaviors I have shown on your marketing communications, then I will select engagement. Or if any kind of data is there which does not fall in profile and engagement, then I have to select others. While we integrated Sales Cloud Starter Bundle, we didn't get this option because Salesforce has marked account, contact, and lead by default as profile category data. But this object we are not bringing out of the starter bundle. We went and selected task object from all objects. So we have to select this. But once you select objects from starter bundle, their categories are already defined. These categories plays a vital role while we work with identity resolution inside Data Cloud. At that time, we will again revisit these categories. But an important question, what are the categories available for setting up objects in Data Cloud? Profile, engagement, and others. Profile contains PI data. Major objects which lies under profile category are leads, contacts, accounts. We have engagement data. Mostly engagement data we integrate from Salesforce Marketing Cloud, where we have tracking details available about a particular subscriber. A tracking can be email opens, email clicks, email bounce, email held, unsubscribe. All these are the tracking details which we have as a key performance indicator for a particular subscriber for a particular marketing campaign in Marketing Cloud. If you're going to bring that kind of data or website visits, website clicks, website downloads, you will have engagement category selected. But if the data don't fall in profile and engagement, it is some other kind of customer data, you have to select other. So once we select other, we'll click on next option. Once we click on next option, we'll click on deploy. So now what we have done, we have started to deploy different objects from the data cloud. Here we have deployed data streams which are account, lead, and contact. Here we have deployed task object as a data stream. We'll refresh our data stream tab and we'll see that all those data streams which we have established are available here. All those data streams which we have established are available here. We have account, lead, contact. Now these data streams are connection only. These are connection to data source objects. You see that the total records this stream brought is 0, or there are no records brought, because data streams we have connected to just establish a connection with data source object. In this we have DSO as contact object from SFDC. Similarly, we have data streams for leads, accounts as well. Now once we create data streams, data lake objects in data clouds are also created. What is data lake object? Data lake object is a metadata of the data which you are going to bring from data source objects using data stream. Data stream would help you establish connections, like we established connection with starter bundles of Salesforce Sales Cloud. We established that connection. It will automatically create a data lake object as well. Data lake object is the container of data brought into data cloud. A data lake object is automatically created from data brought into data cloud, but it can also be created manually. But whenever you establish a data stream, two things happens. One is the connection is established, the other thing is data lake objects are also created. So data lake objects in Salesforce Data Cloud are strong entities designed to manage large volume of structured, unstructured data. It is a container of data. So if you want to verify it, we have created a data stream. We have created a data stream with account, lead, contact. It has also created a data lake object. Go to data lake objects and you see that these data lake objects are also available. These data lake objects are created by default whenever you have established a data stream. So what is the difference between a data stream and a data lake object? Data stream is a connection to a source system. Data lake object is the container of data from the data source object. Now, data lake object, if you go and open, it will also not contain any data for now. Suppose you open contact data, it will also not have any records. Data lake object, you have to map it with in-house customer 360 data model. Data lake object, you have to map in-house with your customer 360 data model, which is known as data model object. So suppose you are bringing a lead from a source system. The first step is to establish a DSO connection using data stream. Then it will create a data lake object. That data lake object we have to map with data model object. Data models are the objects available to create a customer 360 data model in data cloud. There are standard and custom objects. So if you are bringing a leads object as a data source object from the sales cloud, then you have to map that data stream, okay, with a default standard object of Salesforce customer 360 data model in data cloud. So once you open the data stream, you have this mapping available. There are 36 fields which are brought in Salesforce Data Cloud. Once you click on mapping, left hand side data lake object is available and right hand side data model objects are available. Now as this is a standard bundle object, Salesforce has performed mapping to all the required customer 360 data model objects. You see that this mapping is already done. We have mapped lead with contact point address. We have mapped lead with contact point email. We have mapped lead with contact point phone. We have mapped lead with individual object. We have mapped lead with lead object. As this is a part of Data Cloud Starter Bundle, all these objects are already mapped with data model objects present in Salesforce Data Cloud. Now there are some key DMOs, data model objects, which we have to understand. Then only we will be able to understand Data Cloud properly. Data model objects are the standard or custom objects available in customer 360 data model of Data Cloud. Whenever you bring some data to Data Cloud, you have to appropriately map to a data model object. As we have brought default starter bundle of Sales Cloud, it got automatically mapped. And if we know that lead object is a profile category object, lead object is a profile category object. So if it is a profile category object, it will have email address. So Salesforce Data Cloud has provided a default DMO, data model object, to store email address of that particular lead, which is contact point email. Similarly, if you brought a lead which is a profile category object, then it will also have a phone number. Similarly, Data Cloud has provided another object which is contact point phone to store phone number of that lead. These are some default objects to organize your data well. If you want to, make use of lead's phone number, lead's email address, or lead's physical point address. That means postal code, city, country. You have all these objects mapped to a lead data lake object. So these objects we have to map, which are standard, some of the standard objects in data cloud, to store some or other kind of leads data. So if you review this mapping, a lead data lake object is mapped to contact point phone, contact point address. That means this object, which is a DMO, data model object, is containing city, country, postal code, state of a particular lead. Then it is also mapped to contact point email. It is containing email address of a particular lead. These are individual objects inside data cloud which are mapped automatically. These are part of data model objects, so that it is well distributing and keeping data in an organized 360 data model. Then we have contact point phone. We have individual object. What is individual object? We'll study in detail tomorrow in next class. We have leads object as well, which is mapped. So whenever you bring a profile category data to a data cloud, these are some basic objects which have to be mapped. Like a profile will have address, a profile will have email, a profile will have phone, a profile will be an individual in data cloud. I will tell you what is individual. A profile will be a lead. Or if it is a contact, then instead of lead, it will be mapped to a contact. So if I open contact, contact is also a profile category object. It will be mapped to account contact object. It will also have address. It will also have email. It will also have phone number. So contact point address, contact point email, contact point phone are the objects in data cloud which are mapped by default. So if you want to see what all data model objects are available, then you can go to data model. Some basic data model objects available are account, contact, contact point email, contact point phone, contact point address, individual, lead. All these are some default data cloud objects which gets automatically mapped. Now guys, what are the significance of mapping a single data stream with all these objects? To keep our data organized in customer 360 data model, we have to map each and every detail about a particular customer at multiple places. If it is a profile category object, then you should be mapping it with basic object which resembles its traits. If it is a lead, you already have a lead object available in data cloud. You have to map it with lead, and then that lead will contain first name, last name, email address, phone address, email, everything. Then particular contact point objects are also available to be mapped. And then one important category of object is also mapped, which is individual. What is an individual? I'll give you a brief introduction of individual. Now guys, you as a customer can be present in sales cloud, can also be present in marketing cloud. In sales cloud, you are a lead, will have a lead ID. In sales cloud, you will be converted to a contact from a lead, then you will have a contact ID. Then you are brought inside marketing cloud, you will have a subscriber key. Then you are also present at third party systems, there you will have a different key. So technically you have different primary keys to identify you, but you will be treated as the same individual in data cloud, because data cloud works on profile unification concept. It has to create a single customer profile. So it is important to map all the data streams which are of profile category to individual object so that it generates an individual ID. Mapping to individual object all the profile category data is essential for identity resolution, which we are going to study in future. If you don't map profile category data to individual object, identity resolution won't work, because ultimately we have to unify all these records into a single profile. So if you are a lead inside Sales Cloud, a contact inside Sales Cloud, a subscriber in Marketing Cloud, then you are an individual only in Data Cloud. So individual object is an important object which we have to map with each and every profile category data. So data model objects are essential to be mapped to any data stream which creates a data lake object to bring and hold that data inside the data cloud. Data model object should be created and mapped. If you are bringing some standard Salesforce objects, there are high chances those standard objects are present in data model objects. Data model objects has some key data models objects which are to be mapped if it is a profile category data. To keep data organized in customer 360 data model. Like if you are bringing a lead which is a profile category, it has to be mapped with individual. Individual represents a person in data cloud. If it is a profile category, it will have phone number. To keep data organized, we have to map data with contact point email. If you have to bring data of a lead which is a profile category, it will have email address. It has to also be mapped with contact point email. So these are some basic key DMOs we have to map. Then we understood about individual data model. Whatever profiles you are going to bring about a customer, whether it is a lead profile, contact profile, subscriber profile, it has to be mapped with individual object. Individual object inside data cloud would help us in future unifying all those different profiles into one. Now guys, what we have done is we have brought all these records from one SFDC org. We have brought all these records from one SFDC org. Last time we were studying that we might have multiple SFDC orgs. You might also be having your own SFDC org. You might also want to bring data from multiple SFDC orgs to data cloud, because ultimately you have to unify your entire enterprise data. A single enterprise can have multiple SFDC orgs. So what we will do, we will go and connect another SFDC org and bring lead contact from there as well, so that we have good amount of data for profile unification. So we'll go to data cloud setup, go to Salesforce CRM. One Salesforce CRM is a default CRM on which data cloud is enabled, that is integrated. The other Salesforce CRM we want to bring is my own Salesforce CRM. I'll click on connect Salesforce or click on next. You can integrate many orgs with Salesforce Data Cloud. So we are integrating another SFDC org, guys. People who SFDC is my another SFDC org. Now what I have to do, I have to bring leads, contact details from this SFDC org as well. So again, to bring that data from that SFDC org, we'll go to data stream. We'll click on new option. We'll select Salesforce CRM. We'll click on next option. Now here number of orgs are available to be selected. We'll select our org. And we'll try to bring data from that particular SFDC org as well. So as an exercise, you have to connect your data as well to SFDC org. While it is getting set up, guys, what we will do, in our Sales Cloud account, we don't have any data for leads and contacts. So what we will do, we will create a lead and try to get this lead to Data Cloud. While our other SFDC org is getting set up, we'll create a lead and get this data to Data Cloud. So now a new lead is created inside the Data Cloud. We have to get this detail to Data Cloud. This lead is created in Sales Cloud. We have to get this detail to Data Cloud. So we'll go to Data Cloud. Once we have the data, we have established the data model and everything. We'll go to leads object. We'll go to leads object and we'll click on this drop down. We'll click on refresh now option. Once we click on refresh now what lead is doing is, lead is trying to fetch data from the SFDC org and would be populating that data to Data Cloud. Once this lead will have the data, you can go to Data Explorer. Once you go to Data Explorer, you have options to explore any kind of data. When a data stream is connected, it creates a data lake object. When data stream is refreshed, it brings the data, and data lake objects are the container of that data. So you click on data lake object, select which object you want to verify, like lead home. You will be able to see that data available here. But as we recently have refreshed a lead object, it will take some time for data to come. But now, guys, you see that we have integrated another Salesforce org as well. As we have integrated another Salesforce org, their lead, account and contacts are also available. These lead, contact and account were earlier from this default SFDC org on which Data Cloud is enabled. But this lead, contact and account which I have opened are coming from another SFDC org. Now these are also a part of Data Cloud Starter bundle. So their data mapping is by default performed. their data mapping is by default performed. So these are also profile category objects. If any object is profile category, contact point email, contact point phone, contact point address, individual, all these details are by default mapped. So what we have to do is we have to create some data to our own SFDC or the secondary or which we have integrated, and try to bring that data to data cloud. Once that data comes to data cloud, we will try to see how to work with identity